Hey everybody, welcome to the very first episode of the Planet Coaster Mod Spotlight series. With Planet Coaster leaving beta and hitting open release, now is the perfect time to dive into the game and start exploring the impressive collection of mods. The goal of this series is to highlight the best, highest rated, most downloaded mods for the Steam Workshop. We'll also be breaking them down and tearing them apart to see what makes them so great so that you and I can become better builders when making our own custom buildings or scenery. We've got 3 awesome mods to show off today, so let's go ahead and dive right on in. Here we go. Boop! First mod for this week is a great little 4-tier waterfall that makes really good use of hidden special effects to create the waterfall effect. This is Waterfall Cascade by Yofi. This build uses tropical rocks to create the outside, natural-looking barriers of the pools of water. As you can see, it looks like water is flowing from the highest point and on down to the lowest. The most impressive part of this build is the drop from the top pool of water to the next. Okay, let's break this one down. While the rocks have been constructed to look like natural pools of water, the pools themselves are actually made up of pirate fountain parts. Here you can see the pools of water separated from the build, and with the water pulled out, you can see Yofi did a great job building the rocks in a circular pattern to hide the edges of the pirate fountains. You would never know it wasn't actually water there. Okay, onto the flowing effect itself. This comes down to careful use of various water special effects hidden underneath and inside the rocks. The top waterfall uses several large water spouts combined with a water strip. And the pool underneath the large fall helps sell the idea by hiding steam emitters under the water. For each descending pool, this same effect is replicated using smaller effects until the very last pool. This mod doesn't have the highest number of pieces and it's not the most complicated, but it's really amazing what you can do with a set core of pieces organized and designed in a particular way. The second mod for this week is currently the most subscribed mod on the workshop out of nearly 40,000 mods, and makes excellent use of both trees and multiple custom buildings to sell the idea of a beautiful fantasy setting. This is DeLady Signer Fairy Tale Shops by DeLady Signer. This mod contains 3 shops built into the main building: a Chief Beef, Cosmic Cow Milkshake, and Hats Fantastic. Trees and bushes frame the entire mod and do a great job showing the boundaries for all the combined structures. There's a lot of extra scenery pieces here as well, giving off the feeling of a busy market or a well-used public space. Okay, let's take a look at the pieces that make up this mod. The name of the game here is Overlapping Structures. While it's hard to see from the side, from the top you can see each shop is built into a larger structure, and these 3 structures are built inside of each other with a ton of overlap. That goes for the numerous towers as well. Each tower is a custom building that DeLady Signer made and then stuffed into the 3 larger structures. Let's pull out just one and take a look at it. As you can see, these buildings are built piece by piece from the bottom up. Every side of the building has something on it: a window, vines, lanterns, really anything that fits the theme. The mod author has wisely kept to only 3 or 4 colors for roofs and walls, so the building maintains variety without looking like all the pieces are mashed together and don't belong. As for the variety of trees, raising the entire mod off the ground, you can see a lot of trees have been placed under the main structure to serve as shrubs and bushes. When mixed with actual shrubs and bushes, this creates the illusion of a lot of variety, though it does break the mod a little bit if all you do is place it on the ground without adjusting the height. If you did that though, you'd end up with a funny looking treehouse, so maybe that's okay too. The last mod for this week is a track ride with a western theme that contains so many scenery pieces it's almost overwhelming. This is Train Station Western Theme by El Escocés Gamer. This mod comes with the beginnings of a steam train railroad and wraps it in an impressive 8,000-piece train station. The main structure is actually one building and is probably the most impressive thing about this mod. On editing it, you can see every single piece of the roof and the walls have been placed by hand. There is no green wooden roof in the base set of scenery. El Escocés placed these by hand, and the tiny errors actually add a lot of charm and realness to the build, instead of looking fake. The whole thing looks like it really was constructed in the old Wild West. The benches running along the inside of the building are actually made up of fairy tale signs, although they're mostly clipped into the ground so you can only see the top edges. The mod author has also wisely placed signs for the ride entrance and exit, allowing you to perfectly line up the paths that you need. The ride attendant has also been given a tiny little shack to rest inside, complete with door and chimney. As for the rest of the build, every part of the platform has been filled with wagon wheels, barrels, and suitcases, all very appropriate for a Western-themed train station. Some of the attention to detail here is staggering. Even the shovels are leaning at the correct angles. This mod uses almost every single Western piece of scenery to great effect. Like the fairy tale shops, this mod's height needs to be manually adjusted so the building and the trains are sitting on the floor, otherwise all the props will be floating in the air and looking very strange. And that's all we've got for week number 1. Are you using any of the mods from this week's episode? If so, let me know in the comments below how you incorporated them into your park. Half the effort is making the mod, the other half is knowing how to use it. And if there's a specific mod for Planet Coaster you'd like me to look at and break down, let me know in the comments as well. If you had a good time watching, please consider hitting the like button down on the bottom right there, or subscribing to the channel down on the bottom left there. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.